Hi everyone, Ebba's back for a few anyway. This is another sort of eye update. I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video and uploading that. But today it's been a busy day, and it's just after 5 o'clock. I've just finished eating at 5 o'clock meds, and we had eaten sort of really late. We ate a late lunch at 3, so we're not going to have anything for supper until probably 7 or so. So I thought I'd do let you know what's going on. This is July the 8th. Now, I re-watched the last video that I did, just to see what I had talked about and what we were up to and everything, so I can catch you up. So I've been to the doctor several times over the last couple of weeks, or week and a bit. It feels longer. It does. It just feels so much longer since that operation. But it's been a couple of weeks. I think it's 2 weeks tomorrow that I've actually been. The operation was. I had the operation, and it just feels much longer. So today we had to go in, even though Dr. Crichton, my doctor, my specialist, is on holiday in Italy. I had to go in today and have the pressure checked in both my eyes and see how I was doing. Amazing. Since the last time I was in, I saw Dr. Crichton last week, and my pressure was really quite high. When I went in, it was quite early in the morning, just after 9, I believe, was my appointment, or just before 9, and I had done some meds, but not all my meds. So, because we're in a motorhome, and he knows it, he said, okay, he said, I want you to go out, and I want you to do all your meds, and you come back in here at 11:30. We'll have a look. Because I was over 40, I was 42 or something. And that's not good. That's way high pressure. And although the cataract operation part is healing beautifully, the pressure in my eye is causing trouble. And of course the high pressure causes damage to your eye, and he's trying to prevent any more damage. Because there's quite a bit of damage to my eye. So we did that. We went out to the motorhome, I did the rest of my meds, and we sat and we waited, and we went back in and saw him again at 11:30. And he had gone from, I think it was 42 or 44 down to 28. He was happy. He said, that's good. He said, because that gets you down into, you're below that danger part. I said, okay. Now, he said, while I'm away, because he was going away, I think that was last Friday, he was going away. He said, while I'm away, he said, you're going to come in and you're going to get your pressure done. And he said, they're going to email me, and I'll let them know if we have to do anything more, if you need to come in more, I'll let them know. I said, you don't have to do that, you're on vacation. He says, I'll just worry about you anyway. Now, I don't know, I have never had a specialist, and I've got some damn good specialists. I've never had a specialist do that on vacation. So this is what I want to hang on to. So today he would have been emailed that. There's a time difference and all the rest, and I understand that. So early next week, I will probably be hearing from them as to whether there's going to be, I need to see them, come in and get the pressure checked, or if I'm okay until the 20th. But today, when we went in, I've been faithfully doing my meds. I've been having naps in the afternoon as a rule. I lay down, I relax, I have a nap, even if I don't sleep, I lay there, I shut my eyes, I let myself relax. I've been doing everything possible to relax and not be stressed by all the crap that we're going through, all the stuff we have to deal with, and not fretting about it and worrying about it, because usually that's what I do. I think about things. How can we deal with this? How can we deal with that? What do we do? Blah blah blah, all of that stuff. And this last week I just said I can't do it. So I've been looking after me, which is a good thing. So when we went in today and they did the pressure in my eye, both eyes were 12, and I couldn't believe it. I was so happy, so happy. So I'm going to continue doing that. Actually, before I started this, I just got up from a nap. We laid down for about an hour and a half, which is, good. We had been doing things all through the day, and we came to Alderside. I think I've talked about Alderside in other videos, and we're going to be here for a few days at least, and we might stay here until the 20th. But we're going to be here at least for a few days. We may have to go and pick up fuel or something like that, but we're going to sit here, relax, and not do. We never did find a place on the other side of town near the doctor's office, but we did find one on the north end of the city. It's a place called Cross Iron Mills. It's actually a shopping center. And it's quite big. It's quite expensive. It's an expensive one. It's got all the expensive stores in it. There's a few stores that are a little cheaper, but not very many of them. Most of them are expensive stores. And when we were there last time, which would have been a year ago, it wasn't very busy, and the people that were in there weren't buying. Now they are. I didn't see anybody that was wandering around unless they just come in to the mall. And we went through the whole mall. We had a good time. We didn't look in every store because we weren't interested in the stores, but they have some really nice statuary and things like that throughout. And sorry, Gary's just coming in after he's just put the generator on, so you'll hear the door slam and things like that. Anyway, so we had gone through, and then we stopped and we had supper. I think it was supper that we had there. And I was watching people, and they all had bags, several bags, and the bags, these are expensive stores. They all have their name on them, right? Where they shopped and bought stuff. And lots of money in that mall, I'll tell you. I was looking around. I mean, the price of food alone was like, whew. And we went to the food court, and we were looking at the food court, buying food at the food court, and it was not cheap. I'll tell you that. It was not cheap. It was, eventually we found something that sounded good, and we ate it, and it was really good. And it was, what do they call them? Steak sandwich things? Philly steak sandwich, so it was good. And, and it was a reasonable price. And I can't remember where we got it at. I don't remember which one of the stalls it was. It was one of the food stalls. But yeah, most of the places were $10, $12, $14 for like a burger. I don't pay that kind of price for a burger if I can help it. So, because you buy burger meat and buns, and their burger meat's no better than anybody else's burger meat. Nobody can tell me any different. They all basically buy it from the same place. They have their burger patties made in the same big warehouse area or big area. Anyway, yeah, so but yeah, so across from the mall, in the one area of the mall, across from it, there's a road that runs kind of between it and one of the main roads, and we across from it is this gravel parking lot, and it's quite big. and trucks parked in there. And we did. Whoop. Something fell on the floor. We parked in there. And we can get onto the ring road. The ring road here is Stony Trail, it's called. And it goes all the way around the city. You can drive around that. It takes probably about 2 hours to drive from this point all the way around and back to that point. It is very handy for getting someplace from one side of the city to the other, for instance, very quickly, which is good. So we're able to stay there overnight, get up, and get across the city. It takes about, well, if it's not rush hour, it's 20 minutes, half an hour. Now, I think I talked about in one video how there was an accident or something on Stony Trail, and then there was something else was happening there, and we weren't sure what it was. It was actually somebody who was committing suicide, and they talked him out of it, which was good. But they had closed off a part of Stony Trail because of that. But they weren't saying why. They were just saying it was, a traffic incident kind of at that time. But we found out later that that was what it was. So, but most of the time it's open, and it's pretty good getting around it. It's 3 lanes most of the way, with lanes going off onto the various roads. You kind of go like you do on any kind of freeway thing, and it's that sort of thing. It's a freeway basically, but it's the ring road. So we have found that. So even though it's on the other side of the city, it takes us 20 minutes, half an hour to get around to the doctor's office from there. So we know we can go and stay there the night before. We can get up. Now on the 20th, our appointment is at 8 o'clock. The appointment we had today was much later. We made it for 11:15, which was smart. Gary was going to make it for an 8 o'clock one, and I said, no, 11:15. They gave us a choice. I said, do the 11:15, because that gives me a chance to do my meds and all the rest of it in the morning. I won't have that chance for the 8 o'clock one. I'm going to try and do it, but it is taking the meds really early for me, which means that all the meds then, the ones that I take at night before I go to bed, are being taken too early in the evening, unless I just spread them out, sort of catch them up to their normal, what their normal time would be later in the day. During the 2, like I've got so many meds. I've got 2 meds now. It was 3, but one of them is now finished. But I've got 2 meds that are 4 times a day, and one that's 3 times a day, and then I've got some that are 1 time a day and things like that. So it's the 4 time a day ones that can be the problem, because if you don't take them, they don't last for the length of time you need. And I mean, at night, of course, I'm not getting up in the middle of the night, so I've got mine figured out, so that I'm taking them, 9 in the morning. I'm getting up for 9 in the morning, taking them, because you've got to spread out the eye drops. You've got to leave at least 5 minutes between them. And I like to leave longer because it gives the first med time enough to actually start working and doing its thing before you stick another one in there for your eye to contend with. So I try and give it 15 minutes, 20 minutes in between, 15 at least. And there's 2 meds that I have. One is a pill, it's a half pill, and the other is a drop. And they have similar side effects. They have the same side effects and some side effects. And they're not very pleasant side effects, so I try to split them an hour apart. So I try to take the pill at around 9, and then take this other, the drop, at about 10. So between 9 and 10, I'm basically sitting timing medications in the morning. Now, if I have to be at the doctor's office at 8 and we've got a 20-minute to half an hour drive, and then we're going at rush hour, so you want to extend that, give yourself 45 minutes, then I'm doing my meds at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And that's hard, and I've only got 15 minutes if I do it at 7. So, it makes it difficult, the early in the morning one now, because we can't be at the Grey Eagle Casino anymore. So we have to do this long driving, because on the other side of the city, there's nowhere. There is nowhere over there for an RV unit of any kind to be parked and get to a doctor's office. And that, the really silly thing is the hospitals that they do operations in are there. They're on the other side of the city. So there's Rocky View, which they do the eye operations in. Holy Cross is sort of downtown, but you've got to take a cab there. So no matter where we end up having to park, if I have to go to Holy Cross, that's where I have to take a cab in, which is, the last one was $30 or $35 to get the cab to take us. And where we were parked at the Grey Eagle was fairly close to where we had to go downtown. From the other side of the city, it's going to be even further. So, if I have to have the glaucoma procedure done, then that's going to be another thing we have to contend with, is getting downtown, because that's where it's done, in that same clinic. And so we have to, go down, and we have to go by cab, because we got no other way of doing it. So we have to, because there's nowhere to park a motorhome like of this size or any size downtown. And their parking lot just doesn't have space. There's just no space for us in their parking lot. A lot of parking lots now in cities, especially downtown, are underground. So you're going into a parking arcade. Well, those ceilings ain't tall enough for us. And you don't take a big truck into a parkade, and you don't take one of these units into a parkade. There's just not enough space for us. So on the 20th, you have to get to the doctor's early. That means I have to do my meds early, because I want my eye pressure to be a good pressure when I see the doctor next. And I want him to be seeing me with a good pressure. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see next week, early next week. Hopefully they don't call me, and we'll see. I am pretty much ready to have this operation done, the glaucoma one time, if I need it done. They are going to be putting in something called an Ahmed valve, and it's what it automatically controls the flow of the fluid in and out of your eye, which helps with the pressure, keeps the pressure regular. So that's a very simple description of what it is. We've got several page sheet that explained it. If I have to have it done, it'll be 4 to 6 months afterwards that we will have to be close to the doctor, so I can be seeing the doctor often, because they do keep a very close eye on it after the fact. Things can go wrong, and they can be serious. But it is something that is good, and it's the one that they do because it's the best for me, for my situation. So I think that's about all I wanted to sort of say. Just letting you know that today was a good day. Today was a good day. we went and we had the, when they said 12, I was just, I just breathed such a huge sigh of relief, because I've been working really hard on relaxing and, you know, keeping myself relaxed. My blood pressure has been really awesome. It's, you know, I've been only taking one blood pressure pill a day for a couple of years now. And it's been regularly in the 130s, mid 130s, but it's dropped down now. It's now in the 120s. So when I went to see my family doctor the last time, and they did my blood pressure, it was 123, which I thought, wow, that's like really awesome. But so they're really happy with my blood pressure. So my blood pressure is not going all out of whack with all the stress we've been under, which is amazing to me, because I thought my blood pressure was probably skyrocketing out of control, but it's actually been okay. It's been good. Now, what it was doing before, I have no idea. You know, when we were going through the really stressful stuff, I don't know. But because I wasn't paying any attention to blood pressure or anything like that, we were just trying to just live, to survive. And if you've watched those videos, you know what we were going through. We know how you must understand how stressed we would have been, and how little it would have meant to be, you know, struggling along with things like blood pressure and trying to bother taking the blood pressure and things like that. It's like, it didn't even enter my mind. But I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with how my health is going. My hair is growing in. It's actually been growing in sort of a blonde color, and it's with a dark. It's actually been growing in darker. I don't know. I mean, when you get older, it's supposed to, you know, it's supposed to get grayer. Mine doesn't. Just on the sides underneath the lip liner, you can see it. You know, you can see my graying hair, but I don't dye it. I can't be bothered. I dyed my hair until I was 40 years old, from when I was 18. I was dyeing my hair off and on, different colors. For 2 years, I was a platinum blonde, champagne blonde, it was beautiful on me. And I suited it because I have very light skin. My skin tone is actually very light. So the champagne blonde just suited me. So I was a blonde for 2 years with brown eyes. And that was when I was in my 20s. And then there was a while that I mean, there was times when I couldn't afford to bother with my hair. I couldn't afford the dyes, and I just didn't, you know, if it's a choice between a box of dye and eating, yeah, I'm going to pick food. So, you know, there were times when I let my hair grow out and things like that, but when I was 40, I just quit. I just quit. My hair was in bad shape from the dyeing, from all the years of dyeing. It was not in good shape. Now it is. It grows like crazy. It's really strong. My nails are really strong, so I'm healthy. As far as, you know, being healthy is concerned, I'm healthy. We eat well, and we don't necessarily eat great every day, but we eat well. And you know, so we keep ourselves as healthy as we can for seniors. But you know, we have to buy cheap at the same time. So we're looking for, you know, things, and we buy a lot of things that are sort of pre-made, or that we can cook very quickly, because we're running on a generator, and we're using the Dash Minis for doing a lot of our cooking, or our Betty Crocker pizza thing, which is a flat surface that we can grill on or griddle on. And you know, so we quite often buy things that are heat up. Our microwave really draws on the power when it goes, and which is okay because it continues to run. The generator is not dying; it's just stressed, and but we can heat things up. So it just depends, you know. We go into the deli areas of the stores, and we look for things that are healthy, and we buy them, you know. Like we got those cabbage rolls that one day. I mean, those were fantastic. A nice healthy food, a nice healthy meal. So we tend to eat things, you know, as we find them, kind of. We'll buy fresh vegetables, but they don't last well in our fridge. So we have to be careful of that too. Lettuce and things like that will go bad very quickly in our fridge. Within days, we have to eat a head of lettuce, and there's only the two of us, and we don't always do that. It depends on how cold it is and all sorts. It's been very rainy this summer in Calgary, and cold. Like for summer, it's not. We get a hot day once in a while, and then we get cold for pardon me, a week. It's been raining since yesterday late afternoon. Started raining. It rained pretty much all day. It seems to be drying up now. The sky might clear up and it might be gorgeous tomorrow, who knows. But anyway, I'm going to stop now because I could blabber on for the whole night, and I don't want to do that. And I'll let you go. But I hope this, you know, is something that some of you at least want to watch. Tomorrow, as I said, I'm going to get Gary to set the camera up, and I'm going to do it overhead. I'm going to get him to put it up overhead so that I can show things. It's not a very big unboxing. I would like to show you the crafting things and the things that we found when we went to a couple of stores, and I put them kind of together, and I'll show you them. I had bought clothes and things at the same time. I'm not going to bother with those. I've already got them out and been using them. So, but anyway, so I will hopefully I'll have that done and up tomorrow. But we'll see how it goes, because Gary's got to, when we use the camera, then Gary has to do the editing. He's got to put it all together and do the editing, make sure my voice is loud enough for you and things like that. These, I do them. What you see is what you get, because I don't do editing on these at all. These are just me yapping at you. So you take care, and I will talk to you hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I can get that up tomorrow. As I've said before, our videos for the next while are going to be erratic because we don't know what's going on with my eye. Today it looks a little, I don't know, I can see out of this eye, but seeing distance is blurry. Both of my eyes now are close up, but this one hasn't healed fully yet. So I can see that there's something, yeah, it looks a little, I don't know, funny today. But it is healing well, and Dr. Crichton wasn't worried about, like, the operation itself. He was just worried about the pressures in my eyes. So we will see. So you take care, and I will talk to you tomorrow, or it might go up the next day. Okay, bye for now.